Welcome back to the Rhonda Swan Show. Well, if you have been watching, you know that this season is all about impact, all about falling in love with your mission. And my guests have had moments and times in their life where their mission was birthed from their challenges. And now they're taking that mission and leaving an impact on other people's lives. And so today's show is going to be super Feminessence. My next guest is Shar Moore. From humbled beginnings and an inspirational story that would have many people curling their toes, Shar Moore is a founder and editor-in-chief of Feminessence magazine, which is a multi-international award-winning book, and she's an award-winning business mentor and TEDx speaker. Through Sharani's publishing house, co-founded by Shar and her husband Russ, they profile people in business across Australia, the people behind the brands, the defining moments in their lives, and the journeys that have led to where they are today. Feminessence magazine launched in March of 2021, and a series of Feminessence anthologies further adds opportunity for women who seek to operate within the feminine and the female energy space, an arena where Miss Moore feels most passionate about. Shar is also launching her TV talk show called The Girlfriend Hour in mid-2022. She's also an author in our upcoming wealth book for Women Gone Wild, and she is my dear sister. Shar Moore, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much, Rhonda. That's amazing. I'm so excited with our Wild Fem Sister collaboration. It's so exciting. Next year is going to be amazing.
I know, it is so exciting. So I was just interviewing Genevieve. She's also one of the authors in the book, but she's an author in your book as well. And out of nowhere, you and I did that, the Big C conversation. And seriously, Shar, that like exploded the idea of us working together, but other women starting to really come together. And it's just really beautiful. And I love saying wild feminescence.
It's got a nice ring to it. And it really does tap into the true concept, doesn't it, really? Yeah. Around being wild, which means living without boundaries and being your authentic self. And Feminessence is all about your feminine essence. So together it's like...
I love it. I love it, Shar, and I love your story, and we've chatted before about it, but you know, I think that your story brings so much strength and power, right, from where women are today, and I know that's really part of your passion, you know, of how really helping women share their voice and take a stand for themselves. So was there a moment in your life where you felt that your voice was actually quite squashed and you weren't able to really come through, and then you found that power to actually take a stand for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. There's quite a few defining moments, Rhonda. And, you know, I'm Indian. I was born in Thailand and I grew up in country Victoria in Australia. And at the age of 11, it was organised by my grandmother, the hierarchy of our family, for me to be betrothed and engaged to a man who was 9 years older than me. And so I had been brought up with, you know, as a good Indian girl, just to stay quiet and sit nicely in the background. You'll, you know, answer questions when you've been asked them. And really my opinion and my voice and my thoughts and my beliefs didn't matter, because my life had pretty much been dictated and planned for me. And so my nickname as a child was Puss, because I would sit quietly in the background like a cat, just observing and looking with these huge, big brown eyes at everything going on around me. And I had so many things I wanted to say and do, and I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions, and it wasn't welcomed.
Wow. I mean, I think that there's probably so many more women in this world that have actually experienced the same thing. Where did you really find the courage to stand up? I mean, now, obviously, your whole mission is creating this platform for women to do this. But where did you find that courage, you know, to really stand up?
Yeah, look, I think it's a series of moments and people in my life that have given me those confident moments to say and be who I am. And I don't believe that there's ever one person. However, there have been many pivotal people in my life. My dad, my stepfather who raised me, beautiful Australian man, he found out about this engagement at the age of 15 and a half. And he asked me one question, which literally shaped the rest of my life, Rhonda. And it was, you know, is this what you want? And no one had ever asked me my opinion before. So having him ask that, it literally just shifted me a little bit one direction, going, oh, hang on a minute. Does this mean I can actually choose my path? And then there's been bosses that have said certain things. And, you know, one of my bosses nearly 30 years ago said, do you mind if I call you Shar? I think it sounds so classy and you're such a classy person. And so those little things, I've always been dubbed as Sharon. And that's my full name. And then when he said that, I all of a sudden took on this persona of, well, maybe I am classy. And maybe I'm not just an Indian girl that, you know, needs to look after the house and kids, and nothing wrong with that. But I knew there was more. So it was all these little pieces of a puzzle, I guess, that formed. And meeting my husband at 17, we've been together 30 years now, and him constantly telling me how beautiful I am and that I have a voice, and wow, you're so powerful, and you had your voice taken from you, I guess, in some form, and now look at what you do. You find incredible women all over the world and profile them in your magazine and books to help their voice be heard. And it's exceptional how, when you think about where I've come from to now what I do, it makes so much sense that I do what I do now in publishing.
It does, and that's out of nowhere, really, Shar. The idea of what this series was going to be about was about, you know, someone that used what happened in their life and turned it into impact. And then I start to like meet these women, and right now we're interviewing most of the women that are going to be in the book and that we've been working with, and it's like, wow, everyone has had those defining moments that have become their mission, you know. And it's really beautiful because this is like what we're all yearning to live, is to be able to do something that's part of our mission, and we love it, so we never feel like we're working a day in your life. I mean, I know you've got some long days because you're in publishing. I know we do similar stuff, but what is it, how do you, on a daily basis then, Shar, how do you balance that feminine and masculine energy? Because you get a lot done, sister, but then you also have that, you do have that beauty and that grace. How do you balance that? How do you find the way to do it?
I have little notes around my computer screen to remind me, and it's little things like, you know, where are my thoughts right now? Who am I impacting in this very moment? So a lot of the stuff I do, I'm a visionary, I'm a creator, a bit like you. I mean, we are similar. That's why we vibe so well together. And so I have to bring myself back to centeredness. And I have another one that's around holding a loving intention to live consciously with infinite unconditional self-love.
Wow.
And it brings me from this, I've got to get this done, did that get done to the team, you know, into this moment of just be for a moment and feel into who I am and the impact I'm here to make. And in this moment, who am I serving, and am I being my best self? And that really helps me step out of masculine for a moment, step back into my feminescence, so that I can then go back out again and go forth unapologetically, confidently, and gracefully, which are our hashtags.
I love it. It's so good. You know, and you and I share obviously such similar mission, right? Like us being able to just also show other women, powerful women, that they can align. You know, I think that's always been kind of a taboo for a long time, that if you were going to be a powerful woman, you could not be next to the other woman and lift her up, you know? And I think that's such a shame. And it's like now we're getting to prove it to them that you can do it, and powerful women should be able to work together. We're creators of this world. Like, what are your thoughts on the way things are starting to shift?
I truly believe that the women that are going to take us forward as a society and in humanity are the women who link arms with other women. I truly believe that we're in a time that the women who connect with others and find the greatness and the feminescence within them, and then go out and sing their praises and shine their light to others, these are the women that in 10 years people will be writing books about the way that was done and how history was made because of the global impact together we can make. But you couldn't make it by yourself, Rhonda. And honestly, the fun that you and I have, the fun that another partner and I have, the fun that my team and I have with predominantly women, I wouldn't want to do that by myself. You know, the banter back and forward, the connectedness, the gratification at a soul level at the end of the day that makes me feel like, wow, I actually created a difference in someone's life today.
Yeah.
And it excites me for what's on tomorrow. Like, let's do this.
I know, I love it. Like we, every day, Shar and I are like, hey, okay, so how are you doing today? Oh, I was just doing this, you know, and it's just like that. But knowing you've got another sister there with you, that because we're sharing such core competencies, not only in business, but our belief systems are very similar. And it's just, it's nice to know that you have that woman there. And that's why you and I, you know, we said, let's bring Wild and Feminessence together so that all of these communities can see this work. Can you share a bit more about Feminessence in the book and the magazine? Because this is the most beautiful, it's so beautifully illustrated, this magazine, Shar. I was actually so happy I was able to be in one of the first ones, right? That was with YMAG. Feminessence is the new one, that's right. Because you also, so you have, that's right, you have YMAG and now Feminessence. So tell us about how this all started and the beauty of this new Feminessence mag.
Oh, Feminessence came to me literally in the middle of the night, and I honestly feel like someone woke me up to tell me this. And it was maybe 3 a.m, and we'd run our other magazine for 9 years, and beautiful product. And I just felt like I was being drawn to share a deeper message. I was called to help women go to a deeper place within. You've got to have your why, you've got to have your purpose, absolutely, and that's what our other magazine was about. But I wanted to help women reconnect. They're disconnected from themselves. They've given so much of their power away to everyone else that they didn't even know how to make a decision on what to wear, what to do, what can I say, what time can I go out, and they'd lost the character and the strength that we have as a woman. And so I felt like I needed to go back hundreds of years to when women were the most powerful and glorious. And you think about the women that changed history, they were confident, they were unapologetic, and they were graceful. And that's why we chose those hashtags. It embodies our Feminessence woman. Anyway, I woke up in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock odd in the morning, and I woke my husband up and tapped him on the forehead like I've done many times in 30 years. And he's like, I know better than to fight this or try and pretend I'm asleep. So he puts the light on and we have this whole conversation. Well, he listens and I start downloading and channeling. And I literally felt like there was a funnel out of my mouth, Rhonda, and all of these words and concepts and what I wanted to see happen with the movement and how, and I said, the key message I said was, I want to help people connect in with their feminine essence. But because it was 3 o'clock in the morning, I said Feminessence. I blurred the words together. And the rest is history. This gorgeous, stunning, it's foiled. It is absolutely divine. And our design team and creative team and writing team are like sensational at what they do. And the movement of women that are coming together from all over the world. We were predominantly an Australian publication before, and now we're getting people from Canada and the States and Japan. And it's like, okay, what's happening? Women are wanting a platform.
Yes.
Be truthful.
Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. And it's when you really feel something, you know when it's needed. Like I can just feel it when you say it. It is. Women deserve to be seen. How they want to be seen, right? I love how you said you just changed your name to Shar and it took on its own persona. It's true, right? We shift our hair, we change our makeup, we put some heels on and boom, right? Like it's a different thing. And that is what we're able to do is we're creating this container and a safe space for women to share their story, for them to feel beautiful, for them to be powerful, for just to be and to be supported by other women. I'm so excited too. I was just talking to you this morning. We've got another woman that is going to be in our book that wants to now be in your book. I think we've got like 3 or 4 collected clients that we're now starting to bring our worlds together. Like this is the real stuff. This is when it gets really fun. And I'm excited because we're now going to have a Wild Feminessence event, probably in Australia. I don't know. Like we're bringing some of the magazines together. You know, it's like, this is so awesome. And for that, I just really want to thank you for showing up, for actually not being squashed, not squashing your voice and speaking it when you're stepfather asked you, what is this what you want?
Important. And even though I was young, I was very mature, and I realized what he was presenting me was my future. And so when I said no and the rest sort of took shape, it allowed me, and often, like, this is the first book in our series, and you're in our second book, which is first we need to unlock our Feminessence code and really work out what it is. And this is, it's a stunning book as well. It's all color and it's beautiful. And you're in the next book, which is Embrace Your Feminessence. And it made me realize that one of the things I've actually done without realizing it, and I don't have any fancy business plans on any walls, I've actually unlocked my Feminessence as I was younger and grown in my 30s and 40s. And then I started to embrace my Feminessence in my 40s. And the third book in our series is Illuminate Your Feminessence. You can't do that unless you know what it is and you own it for yourself. Then you can go out and shine. And now I feel like, that book's launching middle of next year. I feel like that's exactly what I'm doing. Just hit 50 and I'm illuminating my Feminessence and getting out there and collaborating with someone like you, which is just sensational. All my team are light and excited about this. Our clients, it's a triple win. The clients win, our readers win, we win. Like, who wouldn't want to collaborate with a potential of everybody in the room winning? That just makes so much sense to me as a business person, and making sure that every day we do fall in love with our impact and we go to sleep at night going, yes, I made a difference today.
Yes. Amen, sister. I love it. Shar, how does everyone here that doesn't know how to find you, where's the best place for them to look and to be? I know you're going to be on the network very soon once we launch, which is going to be great, but where can they look for you now?
Yeah, so they can find us at sphbooks.com, which is our publishing house. So we publish clients' books. They can be in our anthologies, of course, the magazine, and then feminessence.com.au.
Amazing. Well, it's also all of you, because of the connection and the collaboration that Shar and I have, that all of our next series of books will be collaborating as partners. So when I said one of the women that are being part of the Wild book, they're also in Shar's upcoming book. And we are launching our next book is Intuition, which is at the end of October. Your next book will be Illuminate. So we are taking applications. So any of you that do complete an application at wgwapp.com, this will also be a conversation about how you can be aligned with both of these books and both of these magazines and these products in this community. So when you do that, just know you also have the opportunity to not only work with us in our side and our team in the Wild side, but also on the Feminessence side, because we realize, you gotta be wild and be Feminessence at the same time, right? So Shar, thank you so much. I love you. I love everything that you do. I'm so grateful for our friendship, our partnership, and the collaboration that we're putting together so that we can just help continue to create this space for more women to shine their wild Feminessence. So thank you, my love, so much.
Thank you so much.
It's the best. Well, what do you think, right? Imagine you, a powerful woman, coming together with another powerful woman and taking your mission and expanding it across the globe. This is the power and the potential we have right now. When we women say yes, we say yes to each other. And we say yes to collaboration. And we say yes to shining our wild Feminessence. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly did. And I always will leave you with this. Don't forget to be unstoppable and stay wild. Bye, everyone. See you in the next show.